I would just like to say that God loves us. It has stopped raining so we could do this welcoming ceremony. My name is Scott Bruckner. I am the chairman of the board of this incredible organization, and it is my absolute privilege to be able to welcome you to this momentous event, this milestone in the history of God's Love We Deliver. Look, as many of you know, many of our supporters, the urgent need for our services has continued to grow, and the pace has been unabated. So, as long ago as 7 years ago, we began to anticipate that we would run out of capacity. And because we pride ourselves on never turning anyone away, anybody who calls us and needs our services receives a meal on the next business day, we knew that this building would run out of capacity. That was the beginning of a very long journey that got us here today. And so after many years of hard work by so many people and the amazing support of all of you, I am so happy to tell you that we've made it to the finish line. And I could not be prouder than I am today to dedicate the new Michael Kors building at God's Love We Deliver. This building would not have been possible without the dedication, perseverance, and financial support of literally hundreds of people. There are too many for me to thank here today, thankfully for all of you. But there are a few names that I would like to recognize and to thank for getting us to where we are today. These are our lead donors in our campaign. This incredible public-private partnership, folks, it works. Look at this glorious building. And our founders. So let me start with a heartfelt thank you to the City of New York and Mayor Bill de Blasio. Of course, Michael Kors, Lance Lapierre, and the Michael Kors Corporation and Michael Kors team. A very important member of the Michael Kors team, John Idle and his family. Stephen and Alexandra Cohen. Longtime supporters, Jeff Gates and Mike Moran. Chris Lacavara and Sam Green. A great and very long-time friend, John Dempsey and the Mac AIDS Fund. Nancy Mann, our former executive director and currently senior vice president of global philanthropy at the Estee Lauder Companies. Our incredible founders and the dog, Ganga Stone and Jane Best. Longtime board member, editor-in-chief of Architectural Digest, Margaret Russell. Our architect, Randy Gerner. Another amazing friend who has done so much for this organization, Anna Wintour. Melissa Rivers. And her late mother, the great Joan Rivers, who did more than anyone to enhance the national visibility not only of this organization, of the very important cause we support. We miss her dearly. Michael Sennett, the chairman of our expansion campaign. He's my very talented and quite stylish predecessor as chairman of this organization. And last but not least, Blaine Trump, who has been with this organization from almost the very beginning, and frankly, I am convinced she's going to outlive us all to continue the selfless work she's done for all of us. Please help me welcome the woman who has led this incredible journey to get us here today, our President and CEO, Karen Pearl.
Good morning, everyone. Today marks a truly significant milestone in the 30-year history of God's Love We Deliver. And after many years of planning and fundraising and a few rocky roads, we're here to dedicate our new home, which actually only took us 20 months from when we started the build, which is kind of incredible. This building represents our ability to more than double the number of meals we cook and home deliver to people who are so sick that they cannot shop or cook for themselves. And it ensures for the future that we will be able to continue to do so without a waiting list for many, many, many years to come. Our expanded home is a testament to the community and to the love that goes into every single one of the meals that we make for our clients and their families. And it honors all of you, our supporters, volunteers, and staff, for all that you have done to make it possible. Like Scott, I could not be more proud than I am today. Your presence here means that you too have had a special role in making our home a reality, and I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I would like to especially thank Michael Kors and Lance Lepere for making the absolutely over-the-moon generous lead gift to this campaign. And to Jeff Gates and Mike Moran for having the faith in our plan to make the very first gift. I also send my dearest thanks to Michael Sennett, Blaine Trump, and Scott Bruckner for being our partners every single step of this way. Thank you to our remarkable board of directors, past and present, for their leadership in seeing the vision that for this great project and this beautiful home, and for their commitment to see it through with their generosity in gifts of time and resources. A project of this size does not get done without a fantastic team. We are forever indebted to Gerner, Cronick, and Valkersel Architects, JRM Construction Company, Next Step Design, Sawyer Burnson, Manat Phelps and Phillips, and Mark Lara and Kevin Groark from Denton's Law Firm. And personally, I am forever indebted to my exceptional executive team, Candy Bonder, David Ludwigson, and Michael Kenyak, who each have done 2 jobs for 5 years. As Scott said, this is an amazing public-private partnership with an $8 million capital grant from the City Council and the Mayor's office. And we are so lucky to have that and have so many of our representatives and public officials here with us today. I would like to welcome our very own council member Corey Johnson, as well as Councilman Jimmy Vaca. And from the administration, we are joined by Commissioner Donna Corrado and Director Barbara Turk, along with Karina Cole and Melanie McMahon from the Economic Development Corporation. The leaders of Community Board 2, David Gruber, Bob Gormley, and Sasha Green are here, and Governor Cuomo, Congressman Nadler, and Borough Presidents Adams and Brewer have sent representatives. And our longtime friend and stalwart supporter, former State Senator Tom Duane, is here, and we owe a debt of deep gratitude to all of you. And finally, we extend special thanks to the mayor of this great city for joining us today, lending special meaning to the dedication of our home and the pledge that it represents to the health and well-being of our most vulnerable neighbors. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the mayor of the city of New York, Bill de Blasio.
Thank you so much, Karen. Karen, I know you have had to lead and persevere and keep the vision going. You've been a fearless leader as this extraordinary building was built. Let's thank Karen Pearl for her leadership. This is an exciting day for the city. Michael, I know it's an exciting day for you, and we thank you for all you have done, but it's an exciting day for this whole city. It represents the best of us, and you represent the best of us. I'm going to say a few words later about Michael, but I have to say this is one of the moments when you feel particularly proud to be a New Yorker, because behind our rough exteriors beats hearts of gold, as is evident today. This space is going to allow for a doubling of the number of meals served and delivered every year, and that is extraordinary. And success has many fathers and mothers. One of the great mothers of this success isn't with us today, and we feel her absence deeply. New York City is just not the same without Joan Rivers. We all feel that. I think if anyone ever captured the personality of this place, it was your mother. And she, in her own inimitable fashion, not only brought us joy, but she brought a lot of spirit to the great work of God's Love We Deliver, and pushed it forward as a volunteer, as a board member. And we miss her. We miss her commitment and her drive and her belief. But if she were here, she would be overjoyed today. So let's all give a round of applause that can be heard up in heaven. The partners in government who helped make this happen, they deserve our applause as well. Council members, Corey Johnson and Jimmy Vaca, the City Council was so much a part of this. Let's thank them. Our Commissioner for the Department of the Aging, Donna Corrado. Our Director for Food Policy, Barbara Turk. Let's thank them for all they do every day. And a different and very important partner for us all, I mentioned Joan. Well, Joan would be very, very proud of her daughter, Melissa, who carries on the work and carries on the commitment. We thank you. This is about kindness. This is about compassion. And doing something even when we don't know the road forward. In 1985, the AIDS epidemic was a confusion and a pain and a challenge to all of us in this city. And two women, Ganga Stone and Jane Best, just started acting. They started creating. They started doing something that didn't need a roadmap or a plan. They just did it. And we have to remember that what they started now has been built into something great for so many New Yorkers in need. Let's thank both of them. Now to the point where God's love prepares and delivers 1.4 million meals a year. What an extraordinary impact on the people of this city. So many hungry, so many living with HIV and AIDS, so many dealing with profound challenges, cancer and other illnesses, and yet God's love is a constant in their lives, is there for them. And not just with food, but with heart, with soul, with love that uplifts people. You know, we go through so many challenges in life, and the physical part of it is one thing, but the emotional is at least as challenging. And God's love fills so beautifully that place in people's heart where they need to know they will be supported, they will be cared for. Each year, over 8,000 volunteers. And what's extraordinary is that people who became volunteers didn't just leave it at a simple act, one-time act of volunteering. So many volunteers here make it their lives work. And one of them was Michael Kors. Michael, I think you got in kind of deep, and that is a good thing. I've heard stories, the work you've done as a volunteer before we came to this day, when you have done so much to bring this beautiful building into creation. I heard a story about a senior you delivered meals to, a woman named Natalie. And she is described in my remarks as a sassy senior. I'm sure you've all met the sassy seniors. They have an opinion on everything and they're full of life and they remind us what life's supposed to be about. Well, Michael and Natalie hit it off and shared each other's life stories, and Michael was there for her. Didn't matter if he's a famous name or invited to all the right parties. He wanted to spend time with Natalie. He wanted to support her, and he was there with her every step of the way, even last year when she got to her 100th birthday. Michael was there to support and uplift her. And I'm sorry to say Natalie is no longer with us, but I can tell you one thing. Her life was enriched by God's Love We Deliver and by Michael Kors. And now we are all enriched by Michael Kors. Thank you for volunteering. Thank you for serving on the board of directors. And thank you for creating a company that believes in philanthropy to its core. And your commitment has led us to the day where this building will lead so many people to a better life because they'll have the food they need and the support they need. It wouldn't have been possible without this place from which to do it. Michael, I know you looked at the situation and you said something just had to happen. You're the kind of guy who makes something happen. On behalf of all New Yorkers, let's thank Michael Kors. Congratulations to everyone at God's Love We Deliver. This is a great day. Congratulations all.
Good morning. My name is Michael Sennett. Like all of the volunteers here, I'm very fortuitous to be with you today. Fortune has smiled on me. All of us volunteer for very personal reasons. I've had the HIV infection for 30 plus years, which is probably 20 more years than most of my friends I've had to live. And I've enjoyed every moment of that living. The most fortuitous thing that happened was when I retired. Mr. Wilmot, Mrs. Trump, gathered me together to become a volunteer and a board member of God's Love. I then became chairman. That was actually great fun. But the more fortuitous thing has to be chairman of the expansion campaign. I was there for the chaos of the pandemic, the incredible panic in our community, the rejection, the isolation, the fear. Jane and Ganga called strangers, other New Yorkers, to come and provide food for strangers, to provide nutrition and respect, and give us back some modicum of dignity. We continue to do that. I'm not sure how I feel about an AIDS memorial in New York City. I'd rather have this building, Michael, and what goes on in it as a kind of gift from our community to the rest of New York. And I might also, I'll end with just one note. I spent time this weekend with a doctor who has 100 of his patients as our clients. And he talked about what nutrition meant to their lives. And then he said, somewhat surprisingly, and they all think the food is really good. On that note, let me introduce my friend, Blaine.
I'm Blaine Trump, for those of you that I've not met. But for me, today is a dream come true. When I started with God's Love We Deliver almost 30 years ago, we were in the basement of a little church on West 86th Street. And I couldn't imagine how Ganga and Jane ever managed to get 25 meals out of that kitchen. And today, the numbers are 5,400 meals going out of our kitchen every day, and I just am in awe of the whole team and everyone that has helped us. I think that for a lot of us, it's not only a dream come true, but it's a really emotional day. If you walk in the kitchen, tour the building, you'll see the tiles that represent so many of the people that we not only served, but are no longer with us. So we think about those people today. We remember Joan. We remember all the people that made everything possible for us. It was really a team effort. And I think take some time in the kitchen, look at the tiles, and your heart will burst. But big dreams take a lot of money. And this dream could not have been possible or achieved without the amazing support and generosity of one man. We are so grateful to all of you here today, but I'm especially grateful to my dear friend Michael Kors and his husband Lance. Michael's lead gift got us started, and off we went. So it is a privilege and an honor to introduce the man behind the name of this beautiful building, Michael Kors. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. You know, it's amazing to me to think how time can go so quickly. I've been a supporter of God's Love We Deliver now for over 20 years, and I have to say I am still amazed at the work they do every single day. When I first got involved back in the 80s, when many people in New York, in the fashion industry and beyond, people who were my friends, people who were my coworkers, they began dying of AIDS. And I knew immediately that this organization and what they were doing was something that really mattered. They have continued to change the lives of New Yorkers every single day. There is no more immediate way to give someone who is hungry, someone who is sick, no more immediate way to help them than to give them a plate of nutritious food, and there is no other local organization that focuses on nutrition and individual needs the way that God's Love We Deliver does. When they approached me about the new building, I was truly honored to be able to help this organization that has helped so many people when they needed help the most. This past year, God's Love delivered 5,400 meals a day. That is 1.4 million meals a year. That's an unbelievable number. With this new building, they will be able to do even more. I have to thank everyone who has stepped up to help make this Michael Kors building a reality. And really a special thanks to the staff at God's Love We Deliver, who work tirelessly every day to make the world a better place. And now, let's cut the ribbon before the downfall. Thank you. Downpour, not downfall.
Front row cameras lower, please. Thank you.
Really not much for ribbon cutting. Remember, this is fake cutting. Here's that you hold and you fake cut like you don't actually smile. I'm your stage man. He's multi-talented. I know this procedure quite well.